Zillow. You know the name. It's probably the first app you open when you're even thinking about moving. But just a few years back, the company made this massive bet that almost broke it. So today, we're going to dig into how Zillow managed to turn its single biggest failure into one of the boldest strategies in real estate right now.
Let's just start with the headline number because it's a big one. $881 million. That's the amount of money Zillow lost in a single quarter. It was the price tag on their huge plan to buy and sell homes themselves. And yeah, it was a complete catastrophic failure that forced them to shut the whole thing down.
But here's the thing. This isn't just a story about losing a ton of money. It's a story about one of the most brilliant pivots I've seen in a long time. So the real question is, how in the world did Zillow take an absolute epic failure and turn it into the foundation for an even bigger, bolder strategy? Let's break it down.
All right, so first things first. We have to understand what went so spectacularly wrong. This whole project was called Zillow Offers, and it was the company's big splash into a business model called iBuying.
The idea behind iBuying seemed pretty simple on the surface. Zillow would use its famous Zestimate algorithm to make you an instant cash offer on your home. Then they'd do a few quick renovations and flip it for a profit. The problem? Well, their AI, their crystal ball, was totally blindsided by a crazy, volatile housing market. It just couldn't predict home prices accurately, so it started massively overpaying for houses, leading to that staggering loss.
You know, a failure that big is a really painful lesson, but it's also a powerful one. It taught Zillow that being in a business where you have billions of dollars of real estate on your own books is just way too risky. So that massive failure became the exact thing that forced them to completely reinvent themselves.
And this brings us right to the heart of their new strategy. It was this huge, fundamental shift in how Zillow even sees itself. They basically decided, you know what? We're done being a player in the game. From now on, we're going to be the platform the entire game is played on.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The old Zillow was right there in the trenches, a direct player buying up homes, taking on billions in risk. The new Zillow, it took a step back. It's now the facilitator, the market's operating system. It's what you'd call an asset-light model that's all about connecting services instead of actually owning houses.
So what does this new platform actually look like, this so-called housing super app? Well, it's all built on a super clear 5-pillar strategy. So these 5 pillars are the building blocks. It starts with touring, right? Making it super easy to go see a home. Then comes financing, helping you get the money for it. Seller solutions are tools for the people on the other side of the deal. The partner network is all about connecting agents and other pros, and then service integration is the glue that ties the whole thing together. The end goal? To have a Zillow product for every single step of your journey. And believe me, this isn't just corporate jargon on a slide. They are actively building this out. To control the touring piece, boom, they bought ShowingTime, which is the scheduling software most real estate agents already use every day. For financing, they're pushing their own Zillow home loans. And for sellers, they're rolling out these cool AI-powered tools like Zillow Showcase to make listings pop.
But look, just having a bunch of different services isn't the real magic here. The absolute masterstroke is how Zillow used this new strategy to solve a huge problem that had been driving them crazy for a decade. It's called the last mile problem. Think about it. Zillow has always been incredible at getting our attention and generating leads for agents, but there was this massive disconnect. They'd send a super hot, ready-to-buy lead to an agent, and then nothing. The lead would just go cold. The conversion rates were terrible, and Zillow had zero control once that lead left its system.
The company finally realized that just trying to find even better leads wasn't the answer. The whole system was breaking down inside the agent's own workflow.
And this realization led to a profound change. Instead of just sending leads to agents, Zillow decided it needed to become the essential tool for agents. The new mission was to own the software that agents use to run their entire business, day in and day out.
And they did this with 2 absolutely brilliant acquisitions. First, ShowingTime, which gave them control over tour scheduling. Then, Follow Up Boss, a top-tier CRM that agents use to manage all their clients. With just those 2 moves, Zillow transformed itself from a simple website into the agent's entire command center. And once you control the command center, you can create this powerful, self-reinforcing cycle. By owning these critical tools, Zillow has built a deeply integrated ecosystem. In the business world, they call this a flywheel effect.
So here's how that flywheel spins. A buyer, let's say it's you, schedules a tour on Zillow. That's powered by ShowingTime. Your info instantly pops up in the agent's software, which is Follow Up Boss. The agent, who's now working inside Zillow's world, then seamlessly recommends Zillow Home Loans for your mortgage. You see? Each step perfectly feeds the next, keeping the whole transaction inside Zillow's universe.
And the result of all this is a massive strategic advantage. It makes agents more and more dependent on Zillow's tools, and it gives the company an incredible amount of data and influence over the entire process, from your first click on their site all the way to closing day.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. Zillow has turned its biggest failure into a strategy that is literally reshaping the industry. So, by weaving itself this deeply into every single step of the process, is it just creating a more convenient, seamless future for all of us homebuyers? Or are we watching them slowly build a real estate monopoly in plain sight? The answer to that is going to define the next decade of real estate.